Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about OM, Mantra. We had some crazy stuff happen. We'll do a quick market update, talk about what's happening before we talk about OM. But I kind of have two theories about OM. We're either going to have some market manipulation that caused it or insider trading. I'll give evidence for both theories and I don't know, we can kind of talk about if I think it's going to come back or maybe if it's going to boost some other RWA tokens. RWA means real world asset tokens. And we'll see what happens here. So, all right, let's first go through a market update. It looks great. We got a lot of green this morning. It was kind of funny because, you know, I made these videos about ETH breaking out right here. And then, of course, we got that random tariff clarification. I swear Trump sits here and stares at the charts. Oh, it's breaking out. Let me put out a tariff, you know, news, some bad news, some clarification. And that kind of caused the market to sell off. But then now even Ethereum is coming back. I also have a big holding in SUI and ENS, which is also moving big. ENS is kind of acts like a leveraged Ethereum, honestly, but ENS has a really good use case, Ethereum name service. I think it's a really cool idea. So there's a lot of moves in some other coins, renders moving up, fart coins moving up. I actually got a really nice bounce out of OM. I'll show you that here in a second, but let's talk about it. What do we got going on here? So first I'll show you my little bounce trade I made here. So if I go to position history, I'll show you what I did here. And there it is. So I had a 1x leverage. Entry price was 0.48. My close price was about 1.07. It was 120% gain. It was about $1,200 for me. I was a little bit too scared to use a bigger position. I should have, obviously, in hindsight. Obviously, hindsight is always 2020, but it was you know, less than a 24-hour trade. You know, just basically, I opened it at the very bottom. It was pretty much the exact bottom. And I'll kind of show you how I did that. So basically what I did here is if we go to like the 5-minute, you can see where I bought, you can see where I sold. I bought right here. Basically, we were going down, and if you look at the 5-minute chart, I was even looking at a little bit at the 1-minute chart, and I pretty much bought the exact bottom, which is pretty cool. But I was just kind of looking for this curve to kind of just turn over, and then you can see a lot of the volume was green, and you can see the RSI was getting higher and higher even though the price was coming lower here. So that is called a bullish divergence. So then I entered the trade there. I actually sold pretty much the peak again. So I missed this because I was shopping at Home Depot. And what I did was I just placed a sell order right here near the top of this peak, because usually when you see a big wick, it's usually that clears out all of the orders, and then it's easier for the price to move up to there. I had the order exactly at the top, and then I ended up just selling a little bit because the price started coming back down. I sold up a little bit more as well here. And then I left kind of a little bit later, and then again sold the top kind of this here because I saw the price coming back down. I don't think I'll re-enter. I had a nice trade on this one, and that's kind of one of my trading rules is when you get a really good trade on an asset, don't re-enter. I know it's very tempting to try to get in and double dip and get more, but I'm going to leave it alone. There's a lot of stuff going on with OM, and there's a lot of other RWA assets. So let me talk about the two theories I have first of all. So here's my two theories. There's my trade right there. Pretty nice, 120%, if I may say so myself. But, you know, a lot of people were saying that, I heard this many months ago, that OM it was like 90% of the tokens are held by the team, by insiders, etc. And the price action did look really weird and really fake because I think there wasn't a lot of coins available for trading. Let me try to find it. I have a chart somewhere in here for OM, wherever my RWA assets are. So if we go back and we look at, I don't know, like the daily chart, I mean, it just looks so weird because we stayed in this perfect channel for so long. It just kind of looked like manipulation, right? I mean, look at it. We had these big pump, big pump, big pump, big pump, and it was like the same thing, and it was perfectly bound to this channel. So I mean look at the price action. It just looks so artificial, and people were talking about that, plus that 90% of the tokens were held by insiders. So I only had a very tiny amount of spot, and then Boom. All of a sudden, I see this. Look at the volume. That's insane. I mean, that is absolutely insane. And coincidentally, the price went down exactly 90%. And, 90% of the tokens were held by insiders. So in my head, I'm sitting here saying, all right, obviously, the insiders just sold everything. And there was also, apparently right before this happened, there was a bunch of money that was moved onto Binance. Now, another thing, and then, Binance comes out. Binance, the most corrupt exchange on earth, honestly. I mean, they have the market maker Wintermute. I complain about them all the time because Wintermute, every time something gets listed on, not every time, most of the time something gets listed on Binance, as soon as it gets listed, it just dumps 50, 60%. Because now people can short it with leverage and, the Wintermute, the big market maker for Binance, they just short the crap out of these assets when they get listed, and then they buy it up really cheap, and they just keep on rinsing and repeating, right? So Binance send them spot, just a transaction, send the spot, and then they can just dump it and lower the price, and then they buy it back, and then they send it back to Binance. So there's a lot of corruption going on with Binance. A lot of corruption. I mean, something needs to change, I think, or they're going to continue to destroy the market, in my humble opinion. Now, this is speculation again, but I'm going to talk about the different speculation, and I'm going to back it up with evidence, right? So I replied to this, and I was like, come on, guys. I mean, is this for real? They're basically trying to say that it was a liquidation cascade. And it's like, come on, I don't know. So since October, Binance has implemented various risk controls. Since January, Binance has issued a pop-up warning for OM on its spot trading page to inform users that the token has undergone significant changes to the supply. Okay, we remain dedicated, blah, blah, blah. But, there was like all this stuff saying that there was a liquidation. And I said, I can't believe Binance is lying to cover up this rug pull. 90% of the tokens held by insiders. Coincidentally, the price went down exactly 90%. In my humble opinion, this cannot be a liquidation cascade. 90%. Guys, this was billions of dollars. This was a $6 billion asset. How do you do that with just liquidation cascades? I don't know. It's crazy. And then I saw some other people break it down and had some really interesting points. Again, 90% of the supply was held, right? So they held 90% of the supply. Postponed community airdrops, OTC deals, market makers used to inflate the price. There was also something about they sent a bunch right before it happened. Yeah, here we go. Insider dump on OKX. One day before the crash, a wallet linked to the team sent $4 million. 4 million OM. That's a lot more than $4 million because it was like $7. So that's a lot. That's like $50 million or something crazy. That alone raised suspicion, but once people found out who owned it, things got real. Before the OM crash, 17 wallets deposited 43 million OM, crazy, worth 300 million to exchanges, 4.5% of the circulating supply. They're tied to Laser Digital, an investor. Once it hit OKX, panic kicked in, the market took a major dump, selling pressure surged, quickly selling, triggering a wave of sell-offs and liquidations. To add, rumors surfaced that the OTC deals at deep discounts, saying like they sold it for 50% discounts, and then people were able to just dump it instantly for a 50% gain. So retail followed. Retail, this happened in an hour. So I don't know how retail could even get in and sell. Like how would that many retail investors even know to sell that quickly, right? I mean, what do people have, like alerts on their phone for the price to go down and instantly exited? It just seems so weird to me. Exited, shorted OM, flagged bearish signal a month ago. Okay, so this guy's trying to sell his whatever. So, but yeah, and then this right here, with most of the OM already dumped, it looks like the team isn't done yet, and they just sent another $30 million because now 38 million OM is only worth $27 million because it went from like, what did it go from, $7 or something? $9 down to frickin' 40 cents. That is insane. That is insane. Top to bottom. 95% dump. Oh my God, that is insane. This is like unheard of from top to bottom. Now, even just if we look at just this 1 4-hour candle or daily candle, boom, 94%, quite insane. So I think maybe it was a mix, and then other people are saying, oh, it could have been a hack, and then they sent it, sold it, and then caused liquidation cascades. I don't know. It's too much of a dump for me to say this is a liquidation cascade. Now, this has happened on other coins, like meme coins, and of course, linked to Binance. Every time the corruption is linked to Binance, there's no other exchange that does corruption quite like Binance. I don't even have access to the real Binance here in America. Because I don't know, they don't follow the rules or whatever. But there was a bunch of other coins. I'm trying to remember which ones it was, like PopCat maybe, or there were some other coins that just got absolutely dumped by Binance, all in unison at the same time from market makers. I don't even remember who it was. There was a bunch of different coins that this happened to. Maybe Pepe, I don't know. I'm not really seeing it. But a while ago, there was a bunch of corruption that also happened on Binance, of course. Again, always tied to Wintermute. Basically, what Wintermute's been doing ever since tariffs have been happening is every time there's tariff news, Wintermute takes that signal to dump trillions, maybe not trillions, billions of dollars of assets onto the exchange, tanking the prices. I think they're single-handedly pretty much caused a lot of this pullback. Obviously, there was a lot of hype with January 20th, and they price in perfection with strategic Bitcoin reserves, and there was some sell-offs from that, but market makers, I think, take this chance to dump the price 10 times as hard as it would normally dump. So those are my theories on what happened, right? It's either insider trading or manipulation from, closing shorts, liquidations, market makers, maybe even a potential hack, or maybe it was just a combination of all of them that was like the perfect storm that made this happen. Now, what do I think about OM? I will not enter back into OM because of all the stuff that I already talked about happening, right? So we had this crazy price action. Oops, I'm all over the place with my huge list here. RWA, where is it? Yeah, right here. So this weird price manipulation here, it just looks too perfect, right? I mean, how often do you have a trend like this for, what is this, January 20th, literally inauguration day to, about exactly a month of perfect uptrend. It just seems so weird to me. And I did enter a couple longs in here, but my spot holding of OM, I think I had like $100, maybe $200, which is now obviously gone. I think I bought some maybe in here, maybe about $4 or $5. Obviously now it's down to 70 cents. So it's pretty much gone. But yeah, that's what I think happened here. And the interesting thing is this could push more money into other real world assets. So Chainlink, Avalanche, Hedera, Ondo. You can see actually Hedera up good 22%. This one has H-bar has just been getting wrecked and hasn't come back. I think H-bar is a pretty good buy still because if you'll see, I mean, we're barely coming back up here and we're at the 0.382 right now. Hedera went all the way up to 40 cents and then went all the way back down to 12 cents, which is pretty insane. What is this dump? It's got to be like 80, 90%, 70%. Okay. 70% dump on Hedera. H-bar is a good one because it also could eventually be tax exempt. There's been a lot of rumors about made in America coins. It's also used for payment systems and stuff. So this could be an interesting one. What else has we got on the list here? Ondo, another one. Algorand, XDC, Maker, Injective, Quant, Mantra was like a top 30, top 50, something like that. And it just crushed back down here. And now we're 90% down, which is insane. Avalanche, I think a lot of these will do pretty decent. So yeah, we'll kind of see what happens here. But let's go through some other just market updates real quick. I guess I kind of already reviewed what's going on with most of the movers. I think Ethereum is about due for a breakout. I mean, even my Camel Finance indicator here is saying that we should have a weekly cycle bottom coming soon, which usually leads to some pretty big pumps. It did not lead to much in the last one. I mean, unless you caught the very bottom of the wick, you could have got 34% in literally one day. That was a pretty insane, oversell, but I'm still super bullish on Ethereum. I think it has to come back. I mean, we look at, let me go get a little cleaner chart here. If I go look at Ethereum, I mean, look at, we literally retested the old bull market from 2018, as I've said in other videos. I think we're just going to see some nice little rocket ships out of here. Now, again, no one can tell the future, but I do have a decent Ethereum holding as well, just because I've been loading up below 1700. We're still below 1700, unfortunately, but we'll kind of see what happens. It looks like we're kind of breaking out of this channel. And if I zoom in here a little bit, you can see we just made a new high. Not by much, but we basically came out of this, we retested it, and then we got that tariff thing that just literally dumped the market, as I said earlier, and now we're back up. And ENS is another big play I have right now. But yeah, if you guys want to try out leverage trading, feel free to use Bitunix. I'm a huge fan of Bitunix. I have some trades open. I've been using 1x leverage lately just because the market is so absolutely insane. I have a nice little ENS Ondo trade. My Fartcoin trade's been really good. I already got $1,000 of profit that I've secured there. Dot trade, Sui trade, Neo trade, doing pretty good. I took a lot of profits out of Neo, and I'm still really bullish on Neo. So my stop loss is nothing because it's already gone down so much. But I mean, it could potentially hit like $190. That was kind of the biggest top for Neo if it comes from, if we get a lot of investment from China, et cetera. That'd be $199,000 gain for me, which is pretty insane for a 1x. But we bought in at, whatever, just below $5. I think my first buy was about 440. But yeah, bullish on Sui, bullish on Dot, ENS, Ondo. We'll see what happens here. That's gonna be pretty much it for the video. Again, if you do want to trade, use my link in the description. So you get a nice discount on fees. There's a lot of first-time bonuses. I have BTCC, which I use for stock trades, Bitcoin mining stocks, Mara. You can trade MSTR on there. They're kind of like tokens it's not a real stock market, but it's like a token that's pegged. It's almost like a stable coin for stocks because it's like pegged to the price. So I trade on there for those, and on Bitunix, I do all my leverage trading because I can just hold my spot here and trade against my spot, and I don't need to hold a lot of USDT, which is really nice. But anyways, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me your thoughts below on OM. Hopefully you guys didn't hold too much. I did make a video about OM in the past, and then I kind of stopped making it once I realized that there's some kind of phony price action going and rumors of 90% of the tokens held. So sorry if you bought any OM based on any of my videos. There's not that many people that have return videos and not many views on any of these videos anyways, so I'm pretty much just talking to like 50 people who watch these videos. But anyways, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day, everyone. See you guys. Oh, one little final thing. I just checked pre-market, and we're actually up in the pre-market, which surprised me because we got the tariff stuff that happened over the weekend. I'm surprised to see the pre-market up and not down, but I guess I'll take it. Usually when the SPY is up, usually that means that Bitcoin is going to do a nice run. If we look at futures, yeah, it's up today. Interesting. So people didn't care too much about that tariff clarification, even though Bitcoin and Ethereum and all those sold off pretty hard, but interesting. Now let's look at some of the other pre-markets actually. I was just talking about BTCC. Mara is up. That's good. Oh, I guess when we closed Friday, the price was pretty low. So now price is up, and I guess it's catching up with everything. Coin is up. Coinbase is up. Mara up. CLSK is up. Those are the three that I have some trades open right now on. So interesting. I have an MSTR trade, I think, too, which is going up as well. Cool. So pre-market looks good so far. Market's not open yet, but see what happens. Have a great day. See you guys.